Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today it's the playoffs. The playoffs are finally here and we unfortunately missed it after a third place finish in the Daytona regular season finale. Just a bit shy of making it, unfortunately, there into that top 16. So we have one goal, of course. Well, first goal, actually, we have multiple goals. The first goal, determine a NASCAR Cup Series champion here in this 2025 season. But my personal goal is to disrupt the playoffs as much as possible here in a clean way. I'm not here to just try and wreck people, but I think we've got some positives coming into the playoffs now. And we just brought in a level 10 suspension upgrade as well into this weekend that is going to be very beneficial. Last time we came to Darlington, we had a pretty rough race now. It was a challenge, and I learned a lot. However, honestly, I learned a lot in Darlington more than I have at any other track in this game so far, I would argue. And the main things, it was just like, the difficulty in passing and how to navigate around that. And I think that's something that we're going to be able to come into this weekend and kind of build upon, and as well continue to show some really strong speed here, hopefully this weekend, of course, as we finish off these final 10 races as a NASCAR Cup Series rookie and focus in on Season 2, where, of course, with the switch to Chevrolet and an alliance with Hendrick Motorsports, I expect Tricon Garage to be a very strong team come next season, and I think we'll be competing for wins, to be completely honest. Now, as we head down this front straightaway here in practice, I was pretty happy with the handling of the cars, so I didn't really want to make any changes at this point, as, however, we were dead last in practice. Now, considering the car was driving pretty good, I was a bit surprised by that one, as Kyle Larson was at the top of the board here in practice early Saturday morning over Denny Hamlin. Allmendinger, by the way, up there in P3. Great effort from AJ now as we roll this Boost Energy Toyota Camry onto the track for qualifying. Now, of course, the sponsor goal, a top 25. Now, I do know if we get a top 25 today, we will finally get a new opportunity for a new sponsor. So we've been waiting like over half the season for that opportunity, and I do know if we get a top 25 today, that opportunity will become available going into the next race at, I believe it's Gateway, for the second race of the playoffs. Nonetheless, off turn 4 down the front straightaway to the start-finish line, it's going to be P22, so yeah, not too shabby to kick off this weekend here from Darlington. Kyle Larson on pole over Byron Bell, Hamlin, Reddick. I was expecting to see Allmendinger a little bit higher, but no, he's all the way down in the 16th position to kick things off for this race as you see the rest of your qualifying order. I mean, obviously for me, quite ecstatic that we went from 40th in practice, not a single change. We go to qualifying and we're up in the top 25. My teammate of Martin Truex Jr., however, down in the 25th position as we come through into Sunday afternoon, evening, early evening, I guess you could call it, as we get ready to go racing here today. And this is going to be a fun race. I love Darlington so much, and I really do believe that we have an opportunity to run really well here this evening as we get ready to fire these engines and go green. 92 laps of racing. Here we go. The NASCAR Cup Series playoffs are underway as the green flag flies from Darlington Raceway. You see playoff contenders highlighted in yellow. Eric Jones is the first one we come across, and, well, we get absolutely destroyed. And this has got to be the number one thing that I really do question. Why isn't it fixed in NASCAR 25? This game has been out since October, and now we are coming up on, half a year since this game came out, and we still haven't fixed the starts in this game. They fixed a lot in this game, but they haven't fixed that, and I do have to wonder if it's a major fix that's going to take until the next game, because you would think it's a simple fix, but it doesn't seem like it. It's obviously something related to either the AI takeoff speed or just the player car doesn't take off like it should. So I am hopeful we get a fix. It's not like that at every single track, but it's like that at the majority of tracks, and that is super frustrating because I'm thinking about next season when we're probably going to be a completely different team in terms of competition. We'll probably be fighting for wins, and if we get a late race restart, we're going to get absolutely just destroyed on a restart and lose our opportunity to win win a race, you know, as we're now settling in behind the 38 of Zane Smith, though, and we can only focus on what's at hand right now. We dropped the P26 on the opening start of this race, and now we got John Hunter Nemechek on lap 5 of stage 1 in 28 laps in this stage. He's working to my inside, trying to make a pass here now, and the outside is where you want to be. You want to be up against the wall, but unfortunately, I get a little bit too against the wall right there, trying to leave the room there for the 42 while I screw up there, and we drop down to P27. I know we've got speed in this car. I'm not going to panic quite yet here in Darlington now, as Daniel Suarez as well is going to look to my inside, and immediately I could tell that we're going to need to make some changes to the handling of this car, because what worked in practice and what worked in qualifying was not going to work in the race right here. So we're going to have to loosen up this car, because my problem is, if you're going to pass somebody, you're going to have to do it on the inside. Right now, my car is not capable of doing that. I can make a pass on the top, as we actually got to the outside of John Hunter Nemechek, and then again, trying to leave room for him, I undercooked the corner and up into the outside wall I go. So through goes Gregson, and now we drop down to the 28th position at this point. So a little bit frustrating of a first, 10 complete laps to this race, but like I said, I'm not going to panic. I know there's some potential in this number 85 Boost Energy Toyota here today. So now here we go, actually to the inside of Noah Gregson. To my surprise, well, hold on, we got a crash, and that's Michael McDowell around. Caution is out, and oh boy, we are going to see extremely separate strategies here, and I'm going to be on the side of pitting, mainly because I want to make adjustments to this car. And we're going to see a bunch of drivers, it looks like, stay out. We're going to make some big swings at this car. We're going down to 48.5 on the wedge, and I'm also going down on the tire pressures all around. So we would only give up 2 positions as we get ready to go back green.
10 away.
Tyler Reddick stays out. He's now out in front. A lot of cars stayed on the racetrack. So as we return to the racing action, we've got now 2 opportunities. Number 1, we just made the adjustments that I think are going to help this car significantly, loosening it up. The second opportunity is the fact that we had just a bunch of cars stay out. I think 8 cars total stayed on the racetrack. So therefore, that is going to make passing for the drivers that just pitted very, very difficult, which is an opportunity for me to make some passes. As you can see up ahead there, already trying to go 3 wide. That's Josh Berry going 3 wide with Eric Jones, and I can't quite tell who's on the outside of that 43, but they are close quarters racing down the front straightaway now. Just over 10 laps to go here in stage 1. Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, P1 and 2. Cindric in 3rd over Gregson in 4th. Riley Herbst is up there even, as we're to the now left rear of John Hunter Nemechek down this back straightaway. Playoff contenders right here of Nemechek, Van Gisbergen as well in the playoffs, of course, now. And there's Kozlowski. Now we're coming up to the 3 wide battle here between Barry, Jones, and Kyle Busch on the exit of turn 4. And I'm just going to kind of be patient here. I mean, look at these guys. They're on the verge of coming together and crashing, so definitely not trying to force any issues right now, as we've still got drivers that stayed on the racetrack holding up the faster cars now. And you can see a little bit of impatience coming up there in front of us now, as they are so close to causing a crash down this back straightaway, and I am just trying to be careful about how I go about this. But now Denny Hamlin up there, I can see him going 3 wide with Chase Briscoe following through. Now things are about to kick off now as we head down this front stretch. So now it's going to be game on. Drivers are finding a way, and I just stuck to the inside line and had continued to move forward as they get into the door of the 7 of Justin Haley. But we'll pass Kyle Larson, we pass Byron, we pass Logano, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, big names. As now Elliott, though, will get to my inside as we're behind Eric Jones. But just like that, we had broken into the top 15. Now we drop out of the top 15 just as fast. So we got to get back down to the inside line. And if we can do that behind the 48 or the 17, we'll be in good shape. It's going to be behind the 48. Buescher actually stays put behind me. Thank you, Chris Buescher. I'm going to jump down in front of you, and we'll get back down to the inside. Denny Hamlin's now out in front, and oh my goodness, Chris Buescher just took us 3 wide. Have to be super careful on the exit of turn 2. We're all good again down this back straightaway. The racing is wild when you have split strategies break out now into turn 3, trying to get clear of Zane Smith. We do. Now we can focus back in on just really going forward here and now passing a few of the old tire cars left. Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric, Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, who took a gamble, of course, trying to win the stage. It's not quite working out for him as he's also trickling down the order, but he's not trickling down the order quite as fast. But I think he's going to continue to plummet now that we've all kind of gotten past these slower cars now. Chris Buescher, I'm going to unfortunately kind of hang him behind the 54 of Ty Gibbs. And as we head down into turn 3, just need to clear this 54 and take the position. We just slide up the track, a slide job basically on the 54, and we'd move up into P11. And not long after, lap 26 to the inside of Josh Berry, we're going to go right alongside him down this back straightaway towards turn number 3. We have got some serious speed after these adjustments as we're going to clear him into turn 3. There's Tyler Reddick. Reddick's dropped to P9. We're going to run him down probably within literally just another corner. He is so far off the pace, and sure enough, 2 to go in stage 1 off of turn 2 to the back bumper of the Jordan Brandon number 45. We'll pull alongside. We'll nearly clear the guy down into turn 3, and we'll slide up in front again, and we'll move up into P9, actually catching the outside wall. Thank goodness it's a car on old tires right behind us, so we're not really going to be under threat now as we come through to the final lap, and Reddick is under pressure in P10. Denny Hamlin wins stage 1, and Reddick behind us is losing P10 at the last second, and he's going to go from running in the stage points to staying out, taking the lead, to dropping down to P11 and scoring no points, while Eric Jones, playoff driver, manages to score a point here now. Is what a wild first stage, as we are going to pit for tires and feel, and I'm going to make another wedge adjustment going down from 48.5 to 48.0, and I was pretty confident that the car would be where we need it from that point on, and I'm feeling really good about this car after these adjustments. Look how dark it is now as we get ready to go green for the second stage here. Now Denny Hamlin leads the way. We're back underway now for stage 2 from Darlington, opening race of the 2025 playoffs now, and once again, absolutely horrific start as we head down into turn number 1. Up front, you got Hamlin, you got Briscoe, you got Blaney, Bell, Elliott, you name it. The playoff guys are still up there. Kyle Larson just ripped around the top of myself. Bubba Wallace, the last driver to make the playoffs now, is going to rip past me on the outside into turn 3. Grillo's Pickles, number 34, Todd Gilliland to my outside now. It's funny, I feel like the 2 races where we haven't had a Grillo's Pickles car, the 34 has had the Grillo's Pickles car. It's funny how that's worked out. But now we continue alongside this 34 into turn number 1. Once again, just like stage 1, 28 laps of racing, and as we clear the 34 on the exit of turn 2, we are now free to focus in on, trying to just really see what we have in this number 85 Boost Energy Toyota Camry for this Tricon Garage team, as we're just going to really focus in on being consistent, not hitting the wall. That's going to make a big difference here in this race for us tonight, as we actually had reeled in Bubba Wallace come lap 4 and had driven away from the cars behind. There is some serious speed in this number 85 tonight, like genuine top 10 speed potential here in Darlington now, as we are working on the back of the 23. But Darlington in this game, it's not easy to pass. You got to build up the run on the exit of turn 2. My problem is you can still see the lack of straight line speed in this car is still a thing. So therefore, you really got to execute the exit at a turn 2, build up a huge run, and the only place I can really pass is down into turn 3 if I do a slide job, basically, and that's what we're going to have to do on this 23 of Bubba Wallace. Crash up in front. That's the 45 of Tyler Reddick. A bad night gone worse for Reddick. Now caution is out. Everybody's going to stay out, and my expectation is 14 laps of field. This is going to take us to within 14 to 15 laps to go in stage 2, so everyone is going to be able to make it. I already know that means I'm probably going to have to save a little bit of fuel, but it shouldn't be nothing extreme as we'll get ready to go back racing. Denny Hamlin continues to lead over Ryan Blaney and Chase Briscoe, and here we go one more time. Green flag is back out, and Well, restarts are no good for me because we know we're automatically going to lose, you know, at least 2 to 3 positions, maybe more, depending on which lane we're starting in. Fortunately, we started the inside line. I feel like it's a little bit better when we do that. We lose out to Josh Berry, AJ Allmendinger, and Daniel Suarez out of turn 2. Here comes Austin Cindric as well, trying to pass us. So that's something we're going to have to be aware of going into stage 3, and I'm hopeful that we honestly have no more cautions outside of the obvious yellow coming at the end of stage 2. We're already halfway through stage 2 with that caution really advancing things. Now we have got 14 laps to go, and I have 13 laps of fuel in this car. So we are going to need to save a little bit of fuel. Look at this move to the outside of Daniel Suarez, and we made it happen there. He just kind of left the door open, and very rarely do the AI leave the door open on the outside, and if they do, you just got to take it. So we were able to get up into P15, and now we are right here with Josh Berry, and I was closely monitoring my fuel situation of like, okay, when do I want to start saving? And I was kind of struggling here to get past this 21 of Josh Berry at this point in this Wood Brothers Ford, but we're going to kind of peek to the inside. This could be the opportunity right here. Now into turn 3, we're going to send it into the corner. Clear. Slide job up in front of the 21. Keep it out of the wall. That is what it's all about right there. And next up was Alex Bowman in this Ally Financial 48, the first driver to miss the playoffs, really the first victim of the win in your end system. 8 laps of fuel as we come to 9 laps to go. So yeah, we're going to have to start saving, and I felt like right around now was going to be the point of where I wanted to save some fuel. Joey Logano, your Daytona 500 winner, up into P15, just behind myself now as well, as we continue behind the 48 of Alex Bowman. But now I was starting to save some fuel simply by lifting a little bit early, clutching into the corner, and now Joey Logano is actually to my inside, and I completely lift off the throttle and clutch into turn 1, and I'll give up a spot to the 22, but I'm okay with giving up 1 spot right now if that means that we'll be able to make it to the end of this stage. So we're just going to continue to be smart. I don't want to give up any more track position. Logano's continuing to go forward in that number 22, and then by lap 23, I'm actually going for a move here into turn 3 on Alex Bowman. Slide job done, clear of that number 48, but I can confirm at this point now, I've already got enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage, so fuel is no longer a concern. And as soon as I got back up to speed, I would run down Joey Logano, and we're going to do the same slide job move on him. Into turn 3, slide job complete, keep it off the wall, right against that wall. We move up into P13. We genuinely have a top 10 car here tonight. The question is, can we actually show it here now as we get to the back of AJ Allmendinger now, coming to just 3 laps to go here in stage number 2. Up ahead, you got Chastain side by side with Priest. Bubba Wallace up there in the top 10 as well, as we give a shot to the back of that 16. Nice little bump draft into turn number 1 as we'll try to set him up for the exit of turn 2. Catch the outside wall. That's going to help my momentum now, and we just have to focus into these final 2 laps where both myself and Allmendinger have run down Ryan Preece. And now don't forget, Allmendinger is in the playoffs with the win and you're in scenario as we continue to follow him through. And Allmendinger, I mean, honestly having a great start to the playoffs here in this number 16 if he continues to run like he is as we go to the inside of Ryan Preece. We're not going to be top 10 here in stage 2. Final lap underway. Shot to the back of the 16 again into turn number 1. Side-by-side contact with the 60 of Preece. We slide to the apron. We save it, but we come back up the racetrack and we slide again on the exit of turn 2. Contact with the 24 of Byron, and the 24 is going to go spinning down the back straightaway. Caution is going to fly, and that's going to end the second stage, and that is not at all what I had envisioned that final lap going like, and I owe a huge apology to the 24. Side by side with the 60 contact, I lose control, I save it, but the repercussions was coming back onto the racetrack, and as I was trying to get back up to speed, the rear end just kicked around on me, and unfortunately William Byron was right there for the, you know, the receiving end of it.
10 away.
So we definitely owe the 24 a favor. I probably just ruined his race. Now, as Kyle Larson, by the way, lost 12 positions in the pit lane, so we go up to P12 here for this restart. Denny Hamlin did win stage 2. He's won both stages so far, but I feel really bad about the 24, and what makes me feel worse is there was some actual damage done to the 24 to the point where he's now at the back of the field. So I really hope that I don't end up being the reason that, you know, I end up like getting William Byron eliminated from the playoffs there. That was just a mistake of losing control, and unfortunately the 24 was, you know, in the path of fire, basically, and it is what it is. If he runs us back down, I am going to, by all means, pull over and just let him go as a bit of a sorry, please forgive me kind of gift. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely huge mistake from myself now. As Kyle Larson, speaking of mistakes, that pit crew on the number 5 lost him 12 positions on that pit stop now, and now instead of racing for the win, he is going to be spending stage 3 just trying to recover. And speaking of recovery, here he goes to the inside of me. I mean, look at the speed, and that HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. He doesn't need the outside to pass you. Kyle Larson just goes down to the bottom and says, I'm just going to make it happen. And he doesn't even have to slide job you. So up front, though, Ryan Blaney is side by side with Denny Hamlin battling for the lead of this race. You got Briscoe up there. You got Bell. You got as well Chris Buescher having a really competitive run as well as we get to the outside of the 43 of Jones into turn number 1, trying to not hit the wall. This time I actually kept it off the wall when we were on the outside of somebody, but here comes Daniel Suarez now, the 99 Freeway Insurance Chevrolet to my inside. Suarez is going to pass us. That was a nice pass actually right there. Well done, Daniel Suarez, and he had continued to move forward. Now as we got another crash, turn 1, Ryan Preece goes around, lap 62. Caution is out, and we're not in the fuel window yet, so no one is going to bother pitting, I wouldn't expect. Now, maybe someone at the back will pit and try to go a little bit later in the race, but no matter what, you cannot make it to the end of this race from this current point. So we'll get ready to go back racing here, and we're from P18 at this point, which is really, really frustrating. We went from battling for a top 10 at the end of stage 2 to a poor restart, dropping us down the order, and again we restart on the outside, meaning we drop down to P20. We should be running at least 8 to 9 positions better right now as we head down this back straightaway. Fortunately, we didn't lose too much right there in that restart, so we can kind of focus back in on going forward here now. Denny Hamlin, he's up front with Ryan Blaney still. They're 3 wide for third. I can see from here Tyler Reddick's up there as well, as we'll swing to the inside of the number 4 right there of Noah Gragson. Now still a lot of racing to go in this race here from Darlington. Nearly some contact right there on the door of that number 4 as we head down towards this back straightaway. Now, what a race it's been here from Darlington now, and obviously just want to finish this thing out. We know we need that top 25 to be able to get a sponsor opportunity, but on top of that, I just know we have a great opportunity to get some good purse money for this team, and we, of course, need to, find another, 9, 10 spots, or, we don't even need a top 10, but just if I can finish like 15th or better, I will accept that stat for the day. And as you see, we continue to go forward again. We had run down Josh Berry here into turn 1, lap 69, just under 25 laps to go. We are, of course, keeping in mind the green flag pit stops that could be coming up here. We have seen 1 caution for cause in every stage so far, and then it's gone green from that point on. Well, we've had that first caution. Now, as I try to do a slider on the 21, Josh Berry was able to keep the throttle down and said absolutely not. Actually, a bit of contact there between us. So then I would make another mistake shortly thereafter into turn 1, lap 71, catching the outside wall. So all the progress we just made kind of eliminated, but fortunately, we've got great speed, and just a lap later, we had gotten right back up to the 21 of Josh Berry, and to the inside we would go on the exit of turn 2. This is where we can do the slide job now. I got a little over-ambitious last time. Tyler Reddick's now out in front, and into turn 3, though, slide job. This one's going to be easy now. We can just glide up and this time be a lot more patient with it. I didn't even have to go right up to the wall to cover that one off now, and right to the back of the 99 of Daniel Suarez. Now the problem now is slide jobs might be a bit difficult here because he is right up the back of the next car in front of him. So how can you slide job a car when there's no space to slide in? So that's something we're going to have to be aware of here as we exit turn 2 to the inside of the 99 down this back straightaway. And yeah, this is not going to be easy. I really don't know how we're going to pull this off because this car is still not quite strong enough, I didn't feel like, to make the inside line work. However, when you do have a car like Carson Hocevar planted in front of the 99, actually, I am able to clear him because he couldn't throttle up off the corner. So we do slide in front of the 99. So I definitely learned something right there. Now, as we'll get to the inside of the 77 of Hocevar, we tried to wreck him there just a few races ago in Richmond, and I'm going to kind of squeeze him out of turn 2. Like, hey, I'm still not a huge fan of, what happened in Richmond now as we continue to march our way forward again. Late in this race, coming up on the final 15 laps now, going for the slider on the 43, glide up in front. Thank you very much. Into the top 15 we go in these closing laps here from Darlington now as we roll up to the back of the number 54 of Ty Gibbs here in the Southern 500. Now to the inside of the 54. Now Tyler Reddick leads. Could he finally win a crown jewel here in Darlington as we head down into turn 1? Couldn't quite complete the pass on the 54. The goal now is to just kind of line him up for the exit of turn 2, and then of course trying to slide him down into turn 3. Didn't quite get the run I was hoping for, but we're still going to pull alongside. If you can get halfway up his door, you should be able to do the slider. Oh yeah, we got this one. We're going to send it into turn 3, slide up in front of his nose, take the position easily now as we have now got green flag pit stops. Here comes Bubba Wallace now into the pits. Gibbs has pitted as well. I'm waiting for my crew chief to make the call. I am putting all trust in my crew chief for what we do right here as we just wait for the call at this point now, and there it is. 4 tires and fuel. Not surprising because our left sides, I think, will blow out before we get to the end of this race. So we're going to follow Ryan Priest. Maybe he's not bidding. No, yes, he is. Allmendinger stays out as we'll come in and we go for a big slide. Saved it. What a save in the pit entrance. And we'll get in. We'll get our 4 tires and fuel and get ready to fire off for the final push in these closing 10 laps. Shocker. Of course, we spend an extra 2 seconds for no reason, maybe plus, waiting, and that is going to be a big cost of time, and we've got less than 10 laps to make it up here now, and oh my goodness, we're going to drop even behind Shane Van Gisbergen, and oh my god, here comes the 34 of Todd Gilliland. We've got a lot of work to do now, and Austin Cindric's even going to get to my inside here into turn number 3. Oh my goodness, so look at the speed. We're ripping through 3 and off of turn 4 now. That's not Todd Gilliland, sorry, Zane Smith that is. In the 38, Joey Logano is yet to pit. He's hoping for a yellow as we head down into turn number 1, and there on the inside, there's Brad Keselowski. There's Eric Jones. He would actually cycle out literally just in front of us now. So these are guys that were passing now that all pitted before us, and I was having a surprisingly difficult time passing this 38 of Zane Smith. He was not making life easy on me, as the 40 of Justin Allgaier still on the racetrack. I wonder if he pitted under that last caution. He cannot make it to the end no matter what, so he's just trying to stretch this a little bit further. We finally clear Zane Smith, and after the pit cycle was continuing to do its thing, we had gotten to 23rd after a pass on Eric Jones with the slider. Shane Van Gisbergen right here in front of us. Joey Logano, he's on fresher tires by a couple of laps, so I don't think we're going to be able to pass at 22 as we head down into turn 1, and we should be able to get SVG right here through the center of the corner. Playoff contender Shane Van Gisbergen as a Cup Series rookie, the only rookie to make the playoffs, therefore he's automatically won Rookie of the Year. We cannot fight for it now as we're coming up on 3 laps to go. Justin Allgaier is going to pit now from the lead of this race. There he goes in, so now it's game on. Who's going to be leading this thing? On the exit of turn 4, we go to the inside of Daniel Suarez. Now 3 laps to go here from Darlington. Can we get back into the top 15? We're going to have to pass some more cars to make this happen now as we continue right to the back of the 71 of McDowell, clearing Suarez for P19. I don't think we're going to have enough time for a top 15, but we should still at least get a respectable result. I'm going to send it into turn 3. What a move, clear from a car length back as we catch the outside wall. However, Chris Buescher's leading. Chris Buescher's leading this race with 2 laps to go. Hold on a second. Now, Logano's going to clear us, and here's going to follow through Eric Jones in the 43. And we're going to try and rally back to the outside here through 1 and off of turn 2. And Chris Buescher is leading coming to the final lap of this race. He has not won a single race this season. Did make the playoffs on points. Could he put himself into the round of 12 right here in Darlington? I think it's going to happen. We'll clear Jones through 3 and off of turn 4. We should be able to get Carson Host of our top 15. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Just, I mean, a bit of a disappointment because we know we had speed to run up there towards the top 10. It just didn't work out here in the final stage. It's still going to be a strong result for this team as we exit turn 2, clearing the 77, but Chris Buescher down the front stretch wins the Southern 500, and he is going to punch his ticket into the round of 12. Can we get Josh Berry coming to the start finish? Not quite going to happen. We're going to have to lift on the exit of turn 4. P17 here in the Southern 500, and I think that's the first time this season I've been disappointed with a 17th place result for this team. We were definitely better than that. Buescher Chris Buescher, I don't know if he took 2 tires or 4 tires, what happened, but Chris Buescher manages to win this race here in Darlington over Kyle Larson. What a race. Kyle Larson, what a rebound for him to get back up into P2 as well, as you see the rest of your finishing order. We'll take a look at the playoff grid, and as well, you see right there, we got the sponsor offer. If we finish 29th or better, we'll get the new sponsor offer, which we'll dive more into if we of course get that. We move up to 24th in the standings, a point in front of McDowell. Buescher's locked in, and there's Eric Jones out by 3 points on AJ Allmendinger, as you can see right there. Cindric and Van Gisbergen both out by 6 points. John Hunter Nemechek, of course, he's got some work to do following this race here in Darlington. What a race. We head to Gateway next episode, which I'll see you guys then, and hopefully this wild start to the playoffs continue on into race 2. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.